Alright, here's another one. I don't know if it belongs on the deep cuts list. It's technically a deep cut at the moment, but it might not be a deep cut in the future. It's quite recent, but at the same time, it hasn't gotten nearly as much attention as I would have expected it to get. So, I'm gonna take this chance to talk a little bit about it, because why not? Russian Doll is a Netflix show. It was released in February 2019. It's a comedy drama series, more like a dark comedy. It's not very old. This being, March, so it's been out for like less than 2 months. Maybe that's the reason not that many people watched it. The word hasn't gotten out about it.
It's laced with cocaine like the Israelis do it.
This series was created by Natasha Lyonne. It was written, directed, produced, and starred in by Natasha Lyonne, which is incredibly impressive.
Don't be morbid. This is your party, and I'm making you a fucking birthday chicken.
Natasha Lyonne is known for her role in Orange is the New Black, which is a show. It's a show, I have to admit, I didn't even make it through the first season. So this isn't a fan opinion. I don't have a whole lot of experience with any of these actors really before the series. But it was really good, so it was good enough for me to actually recommend it on this channel. If I had to sum it up in just a few words, I'd say Russian Doll, it's something like a modern reimagining of Groundhog Day. Now, while that doesn't sound like the most interesting thing in the world, I didn't think it was the most interesting thing in the world. The way it's filmed, the way it's written, it really comes together in an interesting way.
Is this place great? It's even got a secret back room with a password.
It's great. Listen, more dog.
Okay, you twisted my arm. Password's Jodorowsky's Dune.
Nerd.
There's a lot of little mysteries and hints that aren't spoiled right away, but are instead teased out over the season. It has a conclusion which, with any show like this, with this type of premise, any time travel-esque story, you have the inherent risk of it, just falling apart at the end. But I think for what it was, the ending was perfect. I don't think they could have done much more to make it more satisfying on my end. Again, like I say, I didn't have a whole lot of hope for the ending, because usually it ends up being, I don't know, some of the endings on some of these time travel esque time loop style movies gets a little played out. But I thought the way they did it was actually really good. I felt satisfied. So to give a quick rundown on the plot, I mean, I sort of already spelled it out with the Groundhog Day reference. It's about a woman who, she's at her birthday party. Actually, one of her friends is throwing her a birthday party. And by the end of the night, she ends up dying. But instead of, dying, she ends up back at her party staring into the bathroom mirror. And the story kind of plays out with her repeating the day over and over again from that point, trying to create a timeline which she doesn't just die. The acting in it is really good. The characters are really well written. Even, side characters, there's a lot of characters in the show, and even the side characters seem to have a lot of personality. They never feel like stock characters. Overall, I can't think of any characters I didn't like. I mean, even the ones you're supposed to dislike, they're written like actual characters. I feel like I dislike them for a reason, not just because they were written to be annoying. It's also rather adult, in the sense that it doesn't feel like it needs to pander to all age groups or even audiences. It has a story it wants to tell, and it's going to tell it using whatever form, language, whatever it feels is acceptable for that. And I respect that. I think more projects should be open to sort of alienating a portion of your possible viewer base to actually create something worthwhile. So I think the only gripe I could really have with it is that it can sometimes feel, somewhat derivative. Obviously, it's quite on the nose with some of the inspiration it draws from.
I think I'm dead.
We're all dead.
Sees a Fellini film once.
I actually don't have a problem with this overall, though. I think if your homages to films are done well, and they're done consciously, and they're done thoughtfully, I really don't have a problem with it. And I think, some of my favorite movies are made all the better by their ability to use references to other films in a very conscious and thoughtful way. And I think that's what Russian Doll manages to do. It takes a conceit that almost feels at this point like a worn out trope, the Groundhog Day scenario, and really tries to run with it and see if they can tell a new, fun story, something that speaks in a little bit different of a way than Groundhog Day did. So I was kind of surprised when I kept trying to talk to people about this show, and no one's watched it. And I get that a lot. I mean, I'm really used to it. When I'm talking about some 1960s art film from Europe, no one knows what I'm talking about. But this is a Netflix show that just came out, and it was actually good. And I don't want to hate on Netflix because, I think there's enough people out there hating on Netflix. But I don't like a whole lot of Netflix content. When a really good Netflix show comes out, one that I can binge watch from one end to the other without getting bored, I'm usually pretty excited about it.
Sweet birthday, baby. Having fun? It's laced with cocaine like the Israelis do it.
Max,
You're not having fun? You hate your party.
what was I just doing?
What? What do you mean? You're in the bathroom. You mean before that?
Do you ever think it's weird, just like partying in an old yeshiva school?
Why would it be weird?
Because this was once, a sacred place.
It's New York. Real estate is sacred. What's up with you?
Oatmeal is gone.
Gone? No. He always comes back.
What's up with the baby?
I don't know. But if nobody eats my chicken, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
What this might be, however, is another one of those shows like Breaking Bad. I was really into Breaking Bad when it first came out, and no one was watching it. And as more and more seasons came out, I started to be less and less impressed with the storytelling and the cinematography. But everyone else got more and more into it. Maybe this will be big in a few years and I'll end up hating it because I'm just a contrarian fuck. So, yeah, until then, pop on your Netflix. I know you have it. Watch a couple episodes, see if it's worth your while, or don't. It's up to you. It's free, radical freedom, man. You can climb a tree today if you feel like it.
Lights, please.